the reference.
Don't forget tacos.
Is.
You should never forget.
Oh wait, no, chat went crazy about tacos last time.
You should never forget about tacos. What is happening? Oh, it's the... Anything on the edges of the screen, I'm very confused that the screen is... Because I'm not used to stuff being on the edge.
You shouldn't try to maneuver according to what you see on the screen.
No, I should
probably
not.
just look at it.
I should just look at what's happening.
That would probably help you out.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me some initiative.
6.
You have no dexterity modifier or anything?
Yeah, +1.
6. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Okay.
I got there.
6.
Oh, so my character's name is Lulo Autumnvale. Chaotic neutral, fighter, human. Female, blonde, green eyes, 4'3".
Mike, how does it feel to be the prettiest girl in the party right now?
I mean, my charisma's pretty high. My charisma's all right.
Yep.
So I am the prettiest.
You're the prettiest person in the party at this
Wielding
moment.
a great axe.
Nice.
Though, so
nice.
Badass.
Yeah, very strong.
Oh, it didn't print out the big long backstory I put into her. It didn't print it.
Oh, excellent. Good.
There's like 2 paragraphs of like backstory for
the
her.
rest of the night is just you reading backstory to us about this character. Me just being like, no, that's great.
I'm telling the story now.
Yeah, let me just go through. Okay, so Zoldvik, a minor fortress that once protected local kingdoms from raids out of Kesmarin, has enjoyed profit in the relative peace of the last 5 years. With a Kellish civil war in the east and Osrani tombs having been opened in the west, its garrisons are emptied and its great keep repurposed as a market for illicit trade. Those seeking fame or fortune on either side of the old border must pass through somewhere like Zoldvik, and in this late of the season, Zoldvik is probably the only pass that they say is remaining open. Except, you've discovered, no, probably not. Not really. Not with the cold winds that separated you from your caravan from the rest, causing you to weather what seems like a full day now ahead of everyone else.
Oh.
You arrive at the old gate to Zoldvik, effectively alone. A few merchants disembarking, paying you 10 gold for your caravan protection that you offered along the way. Not really. It was an excuse to have an armed adventurer who probably wasn't going to steal from them.
There you go.
And, yeah, you are unfortunately very aware of the fact that the other 3, maybe 4 people you thought might go with you into Kellish to try and make your fortunes through the Civil War are all well delayed.
All right. So there's nobody in Zoldvik?
You're just outside the front gates right now. The gates are open.
The gates are open.
It's an older style fortress. This is a very mountainous area. It's got sort of an old but well cared for look to it. The stone has been repaired. The guardsman at the gate is friendly with a cooking fire there, but his weapon is new. It is clean, and it is well maintained.
So not used.
It's not messy.
Oh.
It's not like he just hello traveler. No, it's clean.
All right. I'll go up and introduce myself and say, I'm Lulo. I hail from Havengard.
Oh no, he says, almost knocking over the tiny fire he's been keeping. You're are you here to try and make it through the pass?
Yes, I am.
Slams his hand.
Is there a problem?
The pass is closed. The winter's already hit. The further you go into the mountain, the more dangerous it becomes. No one could make it down that road. We've been having to turn around caravans for the last 2 weeks. I thought yesterday we'd finally seen the last of them.
Is there so much snow?
Precisely. The roads are narrow even at the best of times, and once the winter comes in, it's impossible to make it through. The
multipass.
Yes, thank you. The multipass. It gets so icy in the winter. No one can make it through, especially not if you're traveling by horse and by foot. It would be weeks, months in empty land. Please tell me there aren't more coming up.
There are.
Vital, what have you been doing? I'm sorry, please. I'm not being hospitable. Come in. There's an inn, at least, and a few of the stores have remained open, sort of in spite of the weather.
Sounds good. What kind of wares does these stores have?
Oh, well, make a sense motive.
Nine.
The man seems cheerful and honest. Nothing at all could possibly be wrong. You know, the usual sorts of things that come over the mountains. Foreign goods, some cloths. We buy a lot of food up here, but probably nothing you're carrying. Weapons and arms. We have our own mine here. It does us good. It takes care of us. Town's mostly empty now too, so I'm sure the merchants would be happy to see some gold.
What? Give me 1 second.
And then you just walked away.
And
you were never seen in Zoldvik again.
Drinking out of the toilet.
Oh yeah. Dag.
You've literally never done that before.
People aren't around. I'm gonna cause chaos.
I see you're doing something. Let me help you. Yeah. I'll see. I'll go to the weaponsmith and see what he has to offer. Lulo yells Washburn. Washburn.
The guardsman is startled by your sudden yelling, but doesn't think much of it. Travelers are an odd sort, and they've seen all sorts in Zoldvik. Yo, please. There's also the Brad's Head Eatery. You're more than welcome to go in there. I'm sure they'd have places for the night. As I said, the town's sleepy this time of year.
Is it fairly late in the evening? It's almost night, or is it?
It's like mid-afternoon. It's kind of hard to tell. This high up in the mountains, the air is clearer than you're used to. And yeah, the first beginnings of winter, even here, this far south in the mountains, is definitely a serious warning to you. It's gonna get cold, especially at night.
Maybe, I'm gonna try and look for wares to help me through the coldest of the cold.
All right, entering into town, it's pretty easy to figure out sort of the layout of the place. There is a massive and brooding keep, a little bit higher up on the slope. The sort of thing that screams ancient vampires or perhaps, terrible legends. It looks like it's lively and filled, though. The town, not so much. Many of the doors are closed and locked up, or honestly left open with nothing inside them. Obviously a seasonal place. The garrison is gone, and
but the castle the keep up on the hill looks very...
Oh, definitely still active. There's a thin wooden set of steps that go up to it.
Ski lodge?
Sort of. Like a really frightening ski lodge, yeah.
Really frightening ski lodge?
But the Brad's Head Eatery is right there, along with what remains of a set of merchant stalls kind of gathered in a circle.
Let's. I'll go to the eatery and ask about the have a drink and ask the barkeep about the castle.
An older woman dressed in a babushka is cleaning the tabletop as you walk in. She squints at you when you come in and then breaks out into a smile, gesturing for you to come over.
I walk over. Order a pint of ale, and ask her. The town. It seems so dead, but up on the hill, the keep up there, it seems so alive, and it looks like there's lots of people. Can you explain what is happening?
Brad's Head.
But
Brad's Head would have been better. Yes, says the old woman, kind of smiling at your inquiry and then gesturing around to the, Brad is the owner of the Brad's Head. It is now canon. They are a 4-star tavern working on 5.
Working on 5?
There were some questionable issues before Brad took over, 5 years ago, but he's put a stop to that. Still, it's hard to get word around, down from the mountains. As you can see, we're sort of a mining town, and although we keep it open and yeah, the plague set them back a star. That was a problem when the plague started in that tavern. Literal epicenter.
In the tavern. Oh,
yeah.
The plague that hit Osirian?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Zero patients. 0 patients survived. As a mining town, we still have a couple of the young men who stay on through the winter, but war makes a border garrison unprofitable, and our king, she says, our king has decided to let the men go off and pursue more active careers. It's better that than trying to keep them paid here. You know what they say, young lady, about soldiers and their ways.
Oh, I see. So does the king live up in the keep?
King Theotol? Yes, of course. That's why it's still active. We're a small country, mostly this mountaintop and a couple of the surrounding area. What with his father's death recently and his rise to the throne, there really isn't much to be said or done, but he keeps a sort of court there.
So he invites the miners up to his keep to party for the winter?
She taps the sign gently that says 3 copper for the ale, which is a scandal. That ale should be a copper at best, but
I'll give her 3 copper.
Excellent.
It's a slow time for them.
Yep.
This is an ale, it's iced tea.
Do you throw it at the...
No, I don't.
Okay. What was the question you were asking?
So he invites some of the miners up to his keep for the winter, and basically has a party that lasts the winter, sort of.
You could say that. With the garrison being so emptied, I'm sure that old place gets drafty and lonely. The miners stay there for free, but I mean, the mine makes such a profit for him, why wouldn't he? No, we're a good place, a decent place, just small. Affected by the seasons. What brings you here, my lady?
I was with a party, and we have split on our travels to get here. We were looking to cross the pass.
At this time of the year.
So
who told you it was still open?
I am unaware how we got this information, and even why we're crossing.
Probably going off to seek your fortune in the east, I assume.
It's possible. Our party leader... I am not the party's leader. We have gotten separated, and I have arrived first, apparently, so...
The donor party.
The donor party.
A party, you say? So you're, swords for hire?
Yes.
Well, she says, pouring you another ale, and then, tapping the sign again. You may, dag. Her fit passes. You may want to go up and speak to Voivod Vital. He may have some work for you despite the pass being closed. Might not be entirely profitless, but that's just word around town.
Maybe that will help me pass my time while I'm here waiting for my party to catch up.
Oh my, yes. It's probably nothing for a group of strapping adventurers such as yourself, but we have small needs from time to time.
All right. Thank you very much for the drink and the information.
You did pay her for the second drink, right?
I did pay her for the second drink.
As you leave, you hear her calling out into the back, Brad, honey, we've had a guest and some profit, too, as the door slams shut. and you step out into an increasingly brisk air. There's a cold wind coming down from the north, from the pass that you were planning on taking. The more you hear about it, the colder it seems to get.
Interesting. It's magic.
It's magic.
Me and my, because of my deity of pure legion, I am very suspicious that it is magic. that's creating this cold, because it seems to be getting colder as I think about it and as people talk about it. So in my mind, it is magic that is doing this, and I am against it.
One of the merchants that came up with you on your caravan passes by. His hands keep warming his hands and blowing on them. He gives you a nod. He's a shorter fellow with a strange red hat with a curly gold trim around it. Cold, huh? He says, and walks by, heading into the Brad's Head Eatery.
Sounds good. I'll head up to the keep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful view. Make a perception check.
13.
All about you, you can see what look like the stone foundations of perhaps a greater time in Zoldvik's history. The keep is well maintained, but and the town is well taken care of, as are the walls. But in the forest and in some of the scattered plateaus up the side of Zoldvik, there are other buildings. They look far more remote and certainly disused. But it's an interesting place. It's an old place.
Is it like where the mine is? Up the hill?
Possibly.
Okay.
You arrive.
Awesome. Is the doors closed and gathering?
The gates to the keep open up into a sort of a muddy stable area where you can see a couple of men and women lounging about in mining gear. But the gates to the keep, the doors to the keep itself are indeed closed.
I'll walk up to the few men and women or miners standing there and introduce myself. Hello, I'm adventurer. I'm Lulo. I come seeking. I hear someone needs some man at arms or women at arms to help with some problems or tasks that may be.
One of the men chuckles to himself and says to another, "Women at arms." But a smaller miner, wiry and tough, elbows him, and she looks to you. Is that so? You must be looking to speak to the voivod. He's in the keep. Things are fine here. I haven't heard any problems from the mine. She looks over and a number of them go, "Yeah, no, mine's great, yeah. We don't need any foreign people looking into the mine. Sense motive."
Ooh. Nope. Four.
Perfectly trustworthy and reasonable people. Of course they wouldn't want foreigners going into their mines. Mines are dangerous. One of them even says that. Mines are dangerous.
Mines are dangerous. Sounds good. I'll head into the keep.
Alright. The moment you open the door, a rush of hot air comes out. The keep is being kept hot to the point of cooking. And there is a faint sound of sobbing, maybe? The place is pretty empty, so it could be coming from anywhere.
Can I perceive and try and get a better location?
Please go ahead.
Of where I think it might be coming from? 9. I don't like this dice.
It looks like there's a throne, maybe 60, 80 feet back. The keep is massive, a sprawling long hall.
Okay.
Obviously designed for a military occupation, transformed more into a king's home. And there is a man, maybe, probably, sitting on the throne, a couple of people around him, and he just appears to be giving it his all. He is weeping uncontrollably.
I'll start making my way towards him.
O.C. Brad, from the tavern, shouts something about dice.
I've rolled it 4 times, and they've all been below 10. So
just roll all the bad ones out while you're getting through the intro. That's all.
There it is. I'll slowly make my way towards him until he notices me.
As you approach, you hear the man sobbing something about his father, his great and noble father, and another fellow dressed as some sort of chancellor or magnate, maybe, saying, "Your father, my lord, is dead. Please, can we... Oh, a traveler, my lord. Perhaps now would be an opportunity." And the man immediately begins to wipe his face and try and clean himself up. He's an unfortunate... you hear the door open and close behind you, and a sturdy but slightly older-looking tavern owner stands there, holding a mug and frowning at you. You're not sure why. But yes, the king, he's got the gypsy grace.
Yeah.
Just can't help himself. It's a thing. The king is ill-proportioned, and if he didn't look so childish, especially having just finished sobbing great massive tears, he might be hideous. His face is the face of some sort of noble hero or cruel despot, but all done out of proportion. The nose is too large, the eyes too small, the brows too thick, the jowls too loose. Nonetheless, he's a older-ish man, probably in his 30s or 40s, and puffy-cheeked and red-faced. From all his uncontrollable weeping.
I say to him, "Hello, I'm an adventurer. My name is Lulo. I hear you might be in need of some adventurers to help with a task or problem of some kind." And I ask him what if he is what was the guy's name?
Fatal.
Fatal. I ask him if he is Fatal, and I have come to the right place.
The man kind of listens to this all with just a bleary, distant expression, and then looks over and goes, "Lulo, have we heard of her?" The Chancellor nods. "Yes, she was involved in an action against Orcish forces further on inside the other kingdoms." Oh, yes, excellent. Yes, welcome, noble Lulo. Welcome, noble lady and fine adventurer. I fear though that I have no work for you, and with the passes closed, I'm sure you can find some sort of work somewhere. And he begins to sob again uncontrollably. Something about his father and a burial and just not being able to honor himself. The Chancellor's mouth goes flat. He pats the king on the shoulder.
I say, you sure there's no problems? You seem to be very upset about something. Is there anything I could do to make it better or make it easier for you?
You hear some mumbling from behind you as the bartender points an accusing finger. But he's quite far away at this point, and you're not quite sure what he's saying. One of the other guardsmen looks over and nods to him, though, like, "Yeah, something about you." Maybe they had overheard of your exploits against that Orcish raiding party.
Oh, nice.
The Chancellor nods. "Why, yes, we... Why, yes, we could indeed, my noble lord, ask this lady perhaps to go up and visit the tombs and discover what has happened." With the king still blubbering, the man steps down a little bit closer to you and says, Our noble king is, of course, struck with great and right grief. His esteemed father, our previous king, has died, and when looking to bury him in our ancestral tombs, the guard we sent up to make certain that no local wildlife had come in the 10 years since the last burial was gravely injured. He says he found a ladder beside the walls that protect the tomb, and climbing up it was struck with some sort of barbed arrow. The wound festered, but it was nothing too serious. I suspect bandits, and am sure that a trained warrior such as yourself could easily solve the problem.
I say I can definitely go take a look. Can you point me in the right direction so I do not get lost?
I would be, oh, my noble... I would be very happy to, he says, leading you further away from the king, who continues his little bit of melodrama. As you walk through the keep, various tapestries show a long history of vicious wars, spitting people on spikes, what look like boats cresting on waters filled with angry fish and dangerous sea beasts, to a little side door, which, when unlocked with a large iron key, leads to another set of wooden steps that go deeper into the mountain. This is towards those ruins you noticed before. Now that you see it from this vantage, you can see in the distance through a couple of trees what honestly looks like a smaller hamlet or town, maybe. There's a number of buildings coming up, all of them quite large, surrounded by an even older stone wall. As you see, little more than a mile down the way are the tombs. In any other season, I assure you, we would be quite capable of managing our own affairs. But
what are you doing? You're messing up the green screen on that side.
But King Fiatal has seen fit to send the young men out, and so I'm afraid I have a guard staff of only a handful.
Right.
We would be happy, of course, to reward you or repay you with goods and services.
We can definitely discuss that after we figure out what the problem may be. Depending on how much services is required.
Of course. The wind gusts a little bit, sending dying leaves past you as the Chancellor goes to close the door and then pauses. Are you alone?
For now.
Are there more who will be coming up?
Soon, I hope.
Of course. Shall I send them your way, or have you meet them in town?
If I am not back, send them my way.
Of course. If you need to enter, then please just come and rap on the door 3 times, a pause, and then another rap.
Sounds good.
The door is closed and you hear the key catch in the lock.
Alright. I'll make my way to the wall.
Okay.
And try and find this ladder.
Make a perception check.
That's slightly better. 21.
The compound that the tombs are in and the wall is actually really large, like a small section of the town, honestly, but further up and further away. They must have a pretty long history of people dying here to have quite this extensive of a catacomb. As far as you can tell, there might be 6, maybe 7 full halls in there.
Wow.
And the gate itself is this massive piece of wood and ironwork, which looks like it might be almost impossible to open with one person. There is indeed a ladder, though. It looks like a bad wooden ladder, and it looks like it's been here for possibly some time. There's even, like, undergrowth that's moving up the bottom rungs.
Can I knowledge something? See if it was maybe like a goblin or maybe human that did it.
Knowledge local.
Knowledge local. 26.
This is a really great example of a ladder. A ladder. Made by humans, probably a farmer with the way that it's fitted together. Like, it looks like it's a homemade piece. It's probably still quite solid, but yeah, this is like something you'd use to get up onto a thatched roof on a small farmstead.
Okay.
I mean, there are definitely farms up here in the mountains, usually for like ranching or goats, but it is kind of weird to see it here. This is not the sort of thing bandits would use.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I will attempt the door first before I climb over the wall.
All right, make a strength check. Thank you.
This is like a perfect color. You could like bottle these and do like potions of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Strength
great.
check. 9. No.
You give it one good hefty push, but the door seems pretty rusted in place. Actually, if anything, you're amazed that they managed to bury anyone here even 10 years ago.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
On the other hand, you think you might hear something, a scrabbling or a shifting, and some sort of a low waspish voice.
Is it coming from the other side of the wall or the gate?
Yeah, it might be.
The gate's not see-through. It's not metal.
No, it's a solid oak and steel barricaded bit.
Well, I'm not gonna try and sneak, but I will quietly climb the ladder and try and just peer over.
Please make a stealth check.
Chainmail doesn't make this easy. 6. Oh no, 0. 0. 1.
The ladder is old and shifts as you climb it. Your chainmail is loud and unfortunate as you try to lift your hands above your head to make it up this ladder. Farmers, what do they know about making good ladders?
Farmers.
You managed to reach the top though without apparently causing any real incident. And what you see before you is, well, perception check.
6.
7 buildings, most of them with the doors to these halls open, sort of arranged in a half circle, leading to what looks like a pond, a small copse of trees, but some of the trees have been chopped down, and it looks like there might be the prow of a ship sticking out of the pond. The pond is not large enough for a ship of that size, though. And beyond that, an insidious number of lumps and shapes in the field.
Alright. But no people. No one moving around.
Not
that
that
I
you
can
could
see.
spot.
That's good. There's no ladder on the other side?
No. It looks like it's just a straight drop down.
15 feet?
About that.
15 feet? That can't be that. That's not that hard to drop down. How thick's the wall? Can I stand on the wall?
Yeah, you probably could. It's a thick wall. This was obviously not always a burial tomb, or if it was, somebody buried someone who they thought was really important.
I'm gonna stand on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lift the ladder up and put it down on the other side.
All right.
Strength?
Sure.
5.
You nail it. It's
Nice.
a wooden ladder.
Nice.
It comes up. You feel a little bit unbalanced for a moment, but you manage to put it down. The moment it touches the ground, you hear the splash of something, like you've dislodged something, and some sort of voice below you going, "What was that?"
Can I look at where that sound is coming from? 22.
Looking down, you see 3 sets of beady red eyes with tiny little black dots looking up at you. They're all armored in various combinations of what look like maybe a bad attempt at animal skins. Little round shields, 2 axes, and one is holding a pot. You've just placed the ladder directly into a fire pit and knocked over some sort of rotisserie that was going on.
Oh.
They look up at you, and you look down at them.
I go, hello.
Who are you?
I've come to investigate some problems in this place.
What? Where are you from?
Originally Haven Guard.
One of the others looks over and goes, mushrooms. And that one looks back at him and goes, mushrooms. And they go back to trying to set up their rotisserie. It looks like there's another goblin on the rotisserie. They're cooking it
Nice.
amazingly evenly, actually. It looks
Nice.
well cooked.
I will move the ladder out of the fire pit,
causing them to freak out once again and immediately go back to fixing their rotisserie again.
Sounds good. I'll move it over and then climb down.
Okay. Climbing down, you realize that the lumps you saw in the field are pretty much all over the place. Grass has grown over what looks like heaps of bones, teeth, skin, some of them fresher than others, all of them small. Most of the weapons look like they are a little bit more than sticks with things tied to them. Most of those have corroded too over time. These three creatures are huddled around their little fire. One of them stares at you warily and then goes back to trying to figure out how to better cook goblin.
I ask if they are the last three of their kind here.
What? Are you again? Why are you talking? Go away, Mushroom Dream! Go away! It says, shaking its hands at you as if to ward you away.
I offer them... I have a jug of ale on me.
Nice.
I offer it to them in exchange for some information.
Make a diplomacy check.
15.
Rummaging over to you, one of them poking at you with the axe, which you see is actually a really nice weapon.
Oh.
It is a master-crafted weapon of ancient origin. Gorgeous metalwork, showing a depiction of some sort of a snarling beast down both sides of the broad head.
That's really cool. Is it a great... It's just an axe.
It's just a glorious hand axe. Maybe designed for throwing. You're not quite sure. You'd have to handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he pokes you with the end of it a little bit. But the other one grabs the adel greedily and starts to drink it down.
It's
The other two immediately begin squabbling with him for it, spilling more than they drink.
Sounds good. It is fine ale as well, so gonna get them drunk. Before probably I even have information, able to get information out of them. I ask them if they are the only three. I see that there has been more of you, your type. Are you the last three?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Last of the brave. That's us. Last of Nub.
Of Nub.
I think the rest went home. Points over at one of the big places with the open door. Yeah, we're the last. Proud fighting on battle, killing enemy, eating his boots. It then tips very slowly over and falls into the grass.
Why have you guys made camp here? Is it on your way somewhere, or...
Points at the corpse. Food, Mushroom Dream. To eat, you know, with your mouth. The other two laugh at how stupid you are.
You're eating the bodies?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Not like we can eat grass. We've tried.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's too small. Can't get enough in your mouth. The one pokes you with the axe again. Good mushrooms.
I give them 3 rations.
Which is just like gold to them. They immediately grab them and they like smell them and they try to eat them and they don't look terribly impressed, but it doesn't matter. And all 3 of them immediately run away from you. You can take attacks of opportunity if you want and book it back towards one of the open buildings.
No, I will follow them though.
Make a perception check as you go in closer.
14.
Coming up closer, you see that indeed in the center of what is probably a pretty shallow pond, there is what looks like a sunken boat of ancient value. The prow of it cresting beautifully with its dragon head pointed to the sky.
Does it look like the whole boat is there?
It looks like the whole boat is down there. In fact, it looks like somebody took it out and then it just sank.
Interesting.
Some of the trees have been chopped down, and now that you're closer to the center, you can see quite a bit of movement all around you. All 6 of the open tombs, of the open halls, seem to have clusters of things moving and scurrying around in them, as well as torches burning all over the place, like torches just sticking out of the ground, torches stuck in the ground, torches on the buildings, torches spelling something obscene on the side of one of the things, and a lot of eyes peering out at you, but also peering out at the area. The corpses here are significantly fresher. No grass has grown on them. Many of them have been scavenged for items.
So they're not the last. Maybe the last outside.
Apparently.
Where did the 3 head that I gave the rations to?
The 3 headed to the nearest of the burial doors and ran in, holding it above their heads, screeching incoherently. That door is hanging wide open, and it looks to be sort of the oldest building. In fact, all 7 of these buildings seem to be done in different styles, like many of them were added in after the fact. This one is nothing but stone, thick, heavy blocks, masonry that's become greasy with tar and buildup from the ages, a gorgeous door that hangs somewhat off its hinge, depicting what looks like some sort of man in a robe holding his hands up to a burning sun.
I'll head into that one.
All right. You walk into this place and are immediately surrounded by skittering green football-headed things armed in a ragged variety of clothes and weapons. Some of them are glorious artifacts from the past, somehow maintained perfectly. Many of them are glorious artifacts from the past that have clearly been misused and mistreated.
Awesome.
But an awful number of them are using what looks like clubs made from bones, spears sharpened from bones. One's holding what looks like an old human skull, the teeth having been filed down to little points. And there is a swarm of them. 30, maybe 35 that you can see immediately.
Okay. Are they immediately threatened by me, or...?
You're kind of walking over top of them. Like, they're tiny, so you kind of have to move your way through, but they're confused by you. But many of them are also ignoring you. They're muttering amongst themselves, talking about things. They're going to go back to the grove. They're going to get it this time. They're going to stop all those interlopers and those new age freaks. They're going to bring the fire back. The building itself is a massive hall that stretches out before you, but is otherwise pretty simple. You can tell that there are some smaller rooms, which are obviously cloisters to famous people off on each side. And the central room has a large tomb erected right in the front, right in the back, but up a couple of steps. The same sort of pagan imagery in the back behind it, and the tomb has been smashed. You can see the corpse kind of hanging out of it, clearly looted for all of his possessions and bits, with the broken rubble having been pushed together to make a tiny throne for what looks like a tiny figure.
I was double checking her alignment.
No problem. A tiny throne for a tiny figure who sits, squabbling with a bunch of other of these creatures. They're all dressed in what look like goblin skins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's the ones that does any of them seem to be like paying attention to me? I mean, some of them are, but like more paying attention, like they want to talk, or
they're curious about you, but it's not like that curiosity. It's more like are you seeing what I'm seeing? What's with this guy? And they're not actually saying much. The ones that are eyeing you up. And if anything, they seem to be eyeing up your stuff more than eyeing you up.
Of course. I make sure that my coin purse is close at hand. But I do bring out a gold piece.
A couple of them lean in really, really close. One of them seems to reach out with one knobbly finger to tap at it. And they all just skitter away from you, going back to their various things. Some taking up guard post positions, some going back to stand beside their king.
No gold,
and
huh?
Wave their very fancy axes around like they're amazed by them.
I try and get information. I want to find whoever is in charge of them. I offer up the gold to anybody or any of them that can give me or lead me to their leader.
Make a diplomacy check.
6.
All of the ones dressed in the goblin skins, as well as the one dressed in goblin skins on the throne, wearing a tiny, what looks like artifact on his head, all turn to look at you. And one of the shaman things points at you and goes, "Who are you?"
I am just somebody who wants some information and potentially to help you guys.
Where are you from? Are you of Zug? And the rest of them hiss.
I am not of Zug.
Who then? Mox?
I am not of Mox.
Tess?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh.
I am an adventurer. I seek out to help others and get stuff. You guys like stuff.
All of them kind of nod to each other. They do like stuff. You're right. They love stuff. In fact, a couple come out from some of those side rooms to look at you, hearing the word stuff. There's stuff. More stuff.
More stuff. I also like stuff.
Mmm.
But I like to share stuff.
Mmm.
Who is in charge? Who do you follow?
The one on the throne stands up and shouts,
Oh,
"I am Nub! Fear me or I will make you fire!" Points with both fingers.
Both fingers.
Like that kind of guy.
I'll walk up to him and introduce myself. I am Lulo Autumnvale of Havengard.
Where is Havengard?
Far, far away.
Like the corner? They start muttering to themselves about the corner. Many people have not gone to the corner in many years. Yes, the corner. The edge of the world.
Almost.
What do you know of Nub? Tell me.
I know nothing of Nub, but I would like to learn.
Make a diplomacy check.
7.
I am Nub. I am the fire. I serve the fire. Fire is good.
Fire's very good. It cooks things. Makes things more delicious.
Are you, then, a sorcerer?
No.
You speak of the fire like you are. Do you know the magic of fire? He says, immediately, getting into a defensive posture, reaching down to pick up something from just before his throne.
I do not believe in magic.
What? They all kind of look confused and start shuffling about.
I believe in fire, though.
What? You said you didn't believe in it.
I am not a sorcerer. I do not cast spells. My anti-religion is against spells and magic. But fire is good. Fire makes life.
But fire is magic.
I mean, it's magical.
Yeah, like magic. Do they not have fire where you come from?
They have lots of fire.
Oh.
Fire's so big it could engulf this entire building.
Make a diplomacy check.
8. Going up.
A bunch of them start muttering to each other about, could we do that? Could we light this whole building on fire? Nah, stone doesn't burn. Stone doesn't burn. You are clearly insane.
I never said that the fire would engulf this building. Just fire pits as big as this building.
Nah, we tried that once. It doesn't work so good. It's hard to keep the fire burning. Anyways, insane person. You say you come from the corner, so you know nothing then of the fight for the sacred grove.
No.
Ah. Well, are you interested in things?
Yes.
He says, rubbing his hands like a tiny villain dressed in leather
I do
goblin
like
skin.
things.
How would you like to have many things?
Many things would be great.
Do you see my crown? I am king. The real king, not like those other fake kings. I can give you all the things, but you must help me.
What do you need?
We must take the sacred grove.
What you're in right now?
No, the sacred grove, he says, pointing out the door.
Oh, the ship.
No, the grove by the great ocean. Right out. Did you not see it when you came in?
The other city?
No.
Oh.
Come here, it says,
Okay.
grabbing your arm and trying to pull you along. It makes a strength check. Do you choose to be dragged by it?
I do choose to be dragged.
Okay, because it nearly lifts itself off its feet trying to pull you along suddenly. The rest of them immediately swarm around it. You see a bunch of the robed ones go into the tiny rooms and pull out these massive burning brands that they begin to chant vaguely at. Something like fire, 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 fire. And surround the tiny king, who takes you out to the edge of the door, disdaining to step any further than the doorway itself, and points at the pond with the ship in it, and the small group of trees right beside it, 2 of which have already been chopped down. The sacred grove and great ocean! Now you have seen them.
Yes.
Will you help us take them? And kill all the false pretenders?
It's right there. You cannot take it?
Do you see? Far in the distance, he says, pointing to another one of the doors. Our enemies. The followers of Zug. False priests who would end the fire.
So, this is just goblins just against each other and each in a different building. This is great.
You ask the little guy who goes, yeah, the whole
Yeah.
world is goblins.
The whole world is goblins.
Yeah. I mean, you're pretty big for a goblin, but you're the biggest I've seen. But I mean, who knows what happens in the corner, he says, gesturing towards literally the corner of the walls.
Awesome. I will help you.
Good.
What is so special about the grove?
Well, the trees are sacred. There are no other trees. They are all the trees in the world, and we will have them for our ceremonies. Our great ceremony, where we will light the trees on fire, and then I will stride into them, and I will join the great fire in the sky. For I am the real king. Not like Zug.
Not like Zug.
No.
Um,
Or Mox.
I will help you.
Or Gaslam. He's fake too. Nub is real. Nub is king.
So
See my hat?
each of those houses.
Oh, they say they have crowns. And they say that there are legends of that all the crowns will make a true high king, but I am Nub. I am king.
Will your army help me defeat the other ones?
Of course.
Awesome. Let's do this.
Good. Will we wait for cover of darkness or attack now while the time is right?
Do you guys sleep a lot? Do you sleep a lot?
What?
Like at night, do you guys go to bed?
Oh, well, yeah,
Oh, okay.
but not a lot.
No. So,
And there are always guards. Everyone wants the grove. But Zug wishes to burn it down. Heresy, I say. Only we can burn it down to ascend to the sky. They would burn it down to stop us. Their god is not real.
let's go now.
Make a diplomacy check.
20.
All the goblins kind of look to each other, and Noob says, you go first.
All right. And if they're not gonna follow me, then I'll just walk over to the other building and just go inside.
Which other building?
The one he was pointing at. Where
Okay,
Zoog is.
because he wants to take the pond with the trees, but yes, there is the door just across the way where Zoog apparently is.
Yeah.
All right, make a spot check as you walk over. Perception.
Perception check. 23.
Not all of these piles on the ground are dead goblins. Or they are, but they've been changed.
Changed?
Yeah, something's not right.
Like
you
they
should be
don't-
careful walking over these.
They're like still alive?
Or something? I don't know. That one looks like it has some sort of pot shoved up under it with some sort of seal on top. Maybe you just barely noticed it before you stepped on it.
They're bombs.
They might be.
That's great. Alright. I will carefully avoiding these lumps as I go over.
Make one more perception check before
Not-
you hit the door.
Non-threatening way walking over. 8.
Make a reflex save.
4! Nope.
The trap goes off. The moment you step onto it, you hear a crunching sound and then some sort of thump. The pot immediately bursts into flame. The tiny goblin that you've stepped into, it's pretty much impossible not to step into goblins on this. Bursting into a tiny fire that deals you 4 points of damage before you manage to pull yourself away. The worst part, though, is that your pant is still on fire.
I will pat myself out. I am actually not wearing clothes under my chainmail, apparently. So
We're just
yeah,
you get
assuming-
clothes unless you choose not to. You have clothes.
That's good. I just never wrote.
You take 2 more points of damage as you use your hands to pat out the burning oil. But yeah, these pants are ruined. The whole leg is gone down this one side, and you've got some pretty horrible welts.
I will find new pants.
You'll find new pants.
I will find new pants.
All right, so you head over to Zoog.
I will head over to Zoog.
This is one of the newest, but certainly not the new. Like, it's sort of right in the middle as far as you can tell of the age of these buildings. Still stone, but a bit of a. It's almost got sort of a cathedral look to it, like a miniature one. On the doorway here is the same sort of robed figure, but this time he's holding what appears to be some sort of holy symbol. You recognize the religion. To Serenade. It's a very common religion. She's a fire deity. She actually I hope you can too. My campaigns are kind of weird.
Yeah, and we're playing Pathfinder right now, not D&D.
Although to be fair, Pathfinder, just so everyone
yeah.
knows, is an extension off of 3.5. The company had a bit of a divorce, and some of the really good ones went off to do Pathfinder. Some of the really good ones went off to do 4E.
We're gonna take a slight break. We'll find out what happens in the next episode on YouTube.